Please stop writing and present your answers. Please pick up your notepads and present your answers on the boards as you have them here. The contestants have presented their answers. Before I award the marks, let's look at the suggested solution from the consultants. This is a problem in biology. So we have the first part, which says we normally use everyday names to represent bones in vertebrates. And the biological names were requested for certain names that we use in lay language. So the first one was the shoulder blade. The shoulder blade is the scapula. The shin bone is the tibia. The upper arm bone is the humerus. The hip girdle is the pelvis. The collarbone is the clavicle. The breastbone is the sternum. And the thigh bone is the femur. If you get all of them right, 2 points. Yes. There was a lot to do. Yes. A lot to do on this problem. If you got even one wrong, you already were in the next stage. So you needed to get more, almost, in fact, you were expected to get all of them right. All of them were supposed to be right. If you had more than 4 right, then 1. And if you had less than 4, I was giving 0. Okay. The next question. What is the function other than protection of the ribs? Now, the ribs help to change the volume of the thorax during breathing movements. So inhalation and exhalation, the ribs will help to change the volume of the thorax. 2 points for this answer. The next one was 3. Where does cartilage occur in a joint, and what is its function? Cartilage may be found covering the surface of bones where they meet in a movable joint. The cartilage reduces friction between the bones, and to some extent, it acts as a shock absorber. So you see, where can you find it, and what is its function? All right. Then the fourth one, it was a nice diagram which you received of the upper arm and the forearm and the muscles attached to this upper arm. Okay, so you are to study the diagrams and use them to answer the questions. The first part, assuming that the bone X remains stationary, that's this bone here, what will happen when the muscle P, this is the biceps, when it contracts? And what happens is that it will raise the forearm. It will flex the joint. That's a proper language, you see. Flex the joint. It will raise the bone Y. And what will happen when the muscle Q contracts? It will extend or straighten the forearm, the bone Y. All right, the second part of this fourth question. Assuming the muscle P is equally strong in each case, and the muscle P is the biceps, state with reason whether A or B will produce 1, the greater movement at the joint, at this joint here. All right. And if you look at the 2 diagrams, what you will see is that A will give the greater movement at F because the muscle attachment is closer to the joint. And then if you look, the second question is the stronger force at F. And the answer is B because the muscle attachment is further from the joint. Explanation, very, very important. Okay, so now let me continue with the mark allocation. If you talk about the movement, inhalation and exhalation for the rib, 2 points. The cartilage, if you tell us exactly where to find the cartilage and what it does, 2 points. When you are able to give a right answer for what happens when muscle P contracts, 1 point. When Q, for Q, That's another point. The extension or the straightening of the bone Y, that's another point. Then when you go to the 4B, if you give the right one with explanation, 1. If you give B for the second with explanation, another 1, giving a total of 10 points. This was the expected solution to this rather long biology problem of the day. Now, contestants, let's start with TEPA. TEPA, you have some of those biological names correct, but you got 2 of them incorrect. One you did not provide at all, and the other one, which is, you told us patella, that's incorrect, the shin bone. And so you got for that section 1, because you had more than 4 right. So 1 out of 2. Okay. Then when it comes to how the ribs help to change the volume for breathing, you are talking about gaseous exchange. No, I'm not accepting that. It's not gaseous exchange. It's actually the breathing movements and the changes in the thorax. Okay, so I'm not giving you anything for that. What did you say about the cartilage? It occurs between bones in the joint. Let me be generous and give you 1 out of the 2. And then the diagram. The diagram. You mentioned that the arm bends and the arm is straightened. Technically, they are right, but I would have liked you to explain which part of the arm, right, was bending and which part was straightening. And so for those 2, there were 2 points at stake. I'm giving you 1. Then, yes, you gave us answers, correct answers, but no explanation for the last part. So I have to give you partial credit. There were 2 points at stake. I'm giving you 1 for that. That gives you a total of 4 out of 10. All right. Now, GSTS. GSTS, everything correct to get the 2 forms. Halation. You sort of cartilage occurs at the surfaces of, yes, and prevents wear and tear. It's more than 1.5. So let me also round up for you. I'm being too generous today, right? Okay, so I'll give you 2 for that. Then the 4th part, it will raise the bone Y. You talk about the arm bending, and then the arm will be extended. That's the right language, but for those 2 points were at stake, I can't give you perfect for this. I can't continue being generous forever. So I'm giving you 1 for that. And that's as far as you went. You didn't try the last part. Okay, so that gives you a total of 6 out of 10. Wesley grammar, you got all those biological names correct, 2. Then the movements of the ribs, you said it aids in breathing. It's not quite complete, but I've been generous before, so let me give you 2. So it helps in breathing movements, that's fine. Cartilage, you mentioned that the cartilage occurs in between joints and facilitates free movement. This is less than 1.5, so I'm giving you 1. Okay? All right, so now number 4, what happens? Bone Y moves up. You are right, 1 point. Bone Y moves down. You are right, another point. And so that is the end of your success, though, because you didn't attend the last part. Okay, so that gives you 7 out of 10. That's the end of the problem of the day and the end of round 3. Begin round 4, I would like to acknowledge that the National Science and Math Quiz is produced by Prime Time. We are sponsored by the Ghana Education Service through the Conference of Heads of Assisted Secondary Schools. We are also supported by TIGO, GOIL, Prudential Life Insurance, Accra College of 4 with GSTS. Your statement. When a current of 0.5 amperes flows through a 50 ohm resistor, the potential difference across the resistor is 100 volts. Yes, Isa?
False.
Yes. Are you still touching it? Wesley grammar. When a current of 5 amperes flows through a 0.5 ohm resistor, the potential difference across the resistor is 10 volts. Yes, Joshua?
It's false.
Yes. When a potential difference of 5 volts exists across a 50 ohm resistor, the current through the resistor is 100 milliamperes. Yes, Abrefi.
It's true.
Yes. For the next set, I have state whether the following are true or false. Apart from spreading malaria, Anopheles mosquitoes are also vectors of, did you get the preamble? Okay, so now GSTS, yellow fever. Yes, Isa?
False.
Yes. Wesley grammar, filariasis. Yes, Joshua?
It's true.
Yes. Tepa, dengue fever. Yes, Abrefi?
It's false.
Yes. In the mass spectrometer, ions are produced by bombardment of gaseous molecules with energetic electrons or protons. Yes, Lisa?
False.
Yes. In the magnetic field, the extent of deflection depends on the mass. The heavier the mass, the greater the deflection. Yes, Joshua?
It's false.
Yes. For an element with 3 isotopes, the mass numbers can be obtained from the mass spectrum, and the atomic weight of the element is the average of the 3 mass numbers. Yes, Abrefi?
It's true.
No. All right. The expression x minus 9 is a factor of x squared minus 8x minus 9. Yes, Isa?
True.
Yes. Wesley grammar, the expression x minus 1 is a factor of x squared minus 9x plus 10. Yes, Joshua?
It's false.
Yes. Tepa, the expression x minus 3 is a factor of x squared plus 5x minus 24. Yes, Abrefi?
It's true.
Yes. A unit for the thermal coefficient of volume. Isa?
False.
Yes. A unit for the thermal coefficient of volume expansion is per meter cubed Kelvin. Yes, Caleb.
It's false.
Yes. A unit for the thermal coefficient of volume expansion is per Kelvin. Yes, Abrefi?
It's true.
Yes. Monocot roots have open vascular bundles. Bernard?
True.
No, that's a false statement. Monocot roots have well-developed pith. Yes, Joshua?
It's false.
Yes. Monocot roots have radially arranged vascular bundles. Abrefi?
It's false.
Yes. Yes, Isa?
False.
Yes. In the electrolysis of CuSO4 solution using inert electrodes, the blue color of the solution fades with time. Yes, Caleb?
It's false.
No, that's a true statement. The copper 2+ is discharged. All right, TEPA. In the electrolysis of fused MgCl2 to give magnesium metal, sodium chloride is added to the electrolyte to reduce the electric charge needed for the process. Yes, Abrefi?
It's true.
No. Last set of statements. The lines y is equal to 2x plus 1 and y is equal to negative 2x plus 1 are perpendicular. Yes, Bernard?
False.
Yes. The lines y is equal to x plus 1 and y is equal to 2 minus x are perpendicular. Yes, Caleb?
It's true.
Yes. At the end of the 4th round, Wesley Grammar School has 27 points. TEPA Senior High School has 28 points. GSTS has 45 points. fifth and final round. This is a round of riddles. I'll be reading out the clues. Your objective is to solve the riddle. In order to solve a riddle, you need to draw my attention. You do so by ringing your bell. May I hear your bell again, Tepa? Thank you. Yours, Wesley Grammar. Thank you. And yours, GSTS. Thank you. If you ring and answer correctly, meaning you've solved the riddle, on the first clue, 5 points. On the second clue, 4 points. On the third or any clue thereafter, 3 points. There are 4 riddles. I am a type of surface. I can be a plane surface, a spherical surface, or a cylindrical surface. Indeed, I can have complicated geometry. I am a surface in a region where an electric field exists. No work is done when a point charge is moved. Yes, Bernard?
Equipotential surface.
You are right. I was reading the 5th clue, 3 points. Next one. I am a type of organism. I provide a rich and diverse habitat for other organisms, including animals, fungi, and bacteria. I am a plant that grows harmlessly upon another plant, such as a tree. Yes, Caleb?
Epiphyte.
You are right. They solved the riddle on the 3rd clue, 3 points. If I were a referee, I would be accused of always being partial. But I like minding my own business, thinking others would behave like me. I hate peer pressure. Yes, which of you? Abrefi?
Dalton's law of partial pressure.
No. I continue. I hate peer pressure. I depend solely on population and not on mass or weight. I obey strictly an experimental observation that later became a law. Dalton tells me the pressure. Which of you? Isa?
Law of constant proportion.
No. Wesley Graham, I continue. Dalton tells me the pressure I exert cannot be influenced by others. So who am I? Yes, Caleb.
Partial pressure.
You are right. Not the law, partial pressure itself. All right. I read all the clues, 3 points. Last riddle. I am a quadrilateral. My diagonals bisect each other and are perpendicular. My diagonals are congruent. Yes, Caleb?
Square.
Yes, it's a square. That was the 3rd clue, 3 points. And that's the end of the 5th round. At the end of the contest, here are the final scores. TEPA Senior High School has 28 points. Wesley Grammar School has 36 points. GSTS has 48 points. TEPA Senior High School, thank you for being here. Best wishes. Wesley Grammar School, thank you for being here as well. Fortunately, I have to say goodbye. All the best. GSTS, congratulations on winning the contest. Prepare well, and I'll look forward to seeing you again at the quarterfinals. Congratulations. Viewers, we've come to the end of another 1A stage contest, but we are not done yet. Next time, we'll bring you the 11th 1A stage contest, which will feature Prempeh College, St. Louis Senior High School. Before we leave, insurance, thank you.